associated with measuring land boundaries, but globally their role does go far beyond that. According to the International Federation of Surveyors, surveying professionals are actually central in terms of land administration, infrastructure development, urban planning and development, as well as environmental protection. Now, in Uganda specifically, where land supports the livelihood of majority of the population, proper land management is actually critical to development, it's critical to conservation, it's equally critical to conflict prevention. Now, data from the Uganda Bureau of Statistics does show that a large share of Ugandans actually depend on land for agriculture as well as economic activity, making accurate land information and planning systems essential. So this week, the International Surveyors, the Institution of Surveyors of Uganda, is hosting a series of professional and community activities in Gulu City as part of the Global Surveyors Day celebrations. The program will definitely include a conference and an annual general meeting of the institution. However, beyond that, we get to look at biodiversity conservation and restoration. And this is focusing on land, it's focusing on water, as well as construction professionals' role in conserving the present and the future generations. Now, that is where we bring in Tom Joseph Mukasa, who's the Vice President of the Institution of Surveyors of Uganda, to help us break down the role, responsibilities and what they bring to the table as far as land development is concerned and protection of our environment. Mr. Mukasa, morning at NTV welcomes you.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mukasa, we want to first understand in terms of the surveyors as a profession, when you look at this is a profession. This is a profession that is rarely heard of. People only talk about it when they're buying pieces of land or considering to buy pieces of land. But I know that its mandate draws far beyond that. Give us the details. All
right. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and greetings from the Surveyors Fraternity in Uganda. I come from the Institution of Surveyors of Uganda. And yes, surveyors have been there in existence as partners and support to the other professions, and the Institution of Surveyors is established under the Surveyors Registration Act of 1974, which brings together a number of disciplines. Those are the land surveyors, we have the valuation surveyors, we have quantity surveyors, we also have mining and hydrological surveyors, and all these people have a different role they play in infrastructure and the biodiversity conservation. Before that, I can tell you that we have a big membership. We have a total membership of around 2,419, and about 49% are land surveyors, and then 23% are quantity surveyors, 26 valuation surveyors, and a small number which is growing, the mining and hydrological surveyors. So in essence, we are also big players and strategic partners in development, working alongside the other built environment professionals.
Okay. On that note, in practical terms, how do surveyors actually contribute to infrastructure such as land administration and development, as well as environmental planning in Uganda?
Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine Uganda is a big garden, and we depend on it for our survival, for fresh air, for food, for medicine. Okay, so we need to have someone protecting that garden, looking after it, and that is basically conservation. But also, when it is damaged, we need someone to protect it or to restore it. So where do we come in as surveyors? We have the three categories or four categories of surveyors mainly. We have the land surveyors. These are the mappers and the monitors. They are the people who go to the ground first, the first line of defense. They do the mapping and they demarcate the boundaries. And for example, if you're looking at a wetland and someone shows you where the boundaries are, you are able to know whether there is encroachment or there is no encroachment, and therefore you are able to have what? An imaginary boundary fence for that ecosystem, and therefore they are contributing to the protection. Then we have the valuers who put a price tag on assets, including nature. Many times we think that nature is free, but recently we have come to know that actually we need to value it as an asset, and these are the people who are putting a price tag on the wetlands, on the swamps, on the forest reserves, to ensure that before you make a decision of whether to put concrete, think about the floodplains, the protection that is coming out of the ecosystem before you destroy it or you use it for another activity. So that is a conversation that has to start and is being spearheaded by the valuers. Then we also have the quantity surveyors. These are the people who look into the cost implications, the budgeting. You have to think about how you are going to keep the asset for a long term. How are you going to save? How are you going to substitute which materials to use? We have to move away from looking for the cheapest materials to looking for the long-term materials that can give us the most value, what we call life cycle costing. So those ones also come in. We have the mining and hydrological surveyors who really concentrate on restoring. Once you've extracted the minerals, how do you restore the damaged parts and make sure that the original species are put in place? Of course, they have to work in hand with the environmentalists. So as you can see, we are also partners alongside the other professionals, and I think that's how we are making our contribution.
Indeed, it's an ecosystem where you play a critical role at every level of development. Now, that being said, we're looking at the Global Surveyors Day that is being marked this week. What is the significance of this day globally, and how does it actually tie in to recognizing the importance of surveyors? All
right. The Global Surveyors Day comes from a place where I think we realize that we are not recognized enough. For example, if you go on construction sites and you look at the signboards, you will see an architect, you will see the engineer, you will see the client, you will see the contractor. Rarely will you see who is the surveyor. Yet these are the people who go to the ground first to demarcate. They are the guys who do the budgeting, but you never see them. So we are there, but we are not really recognized. So because of that, the idea came up, I think, from Budapest. It was a Budapest declaration in 2013 to start recognizing the contribution of surveyors to the world. So it has been on since 2013, and it takes a whole week of celebrations. The actual date is 21st March, but the whole week we are celebrating. So ours, we are going to have it in Gulu, I think at Gulu University, and we are having a couple of activities, sensitizations, medical clinics, awareness clinics, and even showing what we are able to do, and also contributing other corporate social responsibility activities. Okay. How would these initiatives actually reflect surveyors giving back to the community, and why Gulu City in particular? Well, Gulu City, first and foremost, is that many of us professionals have a tendency to stick to Kampala, the capital, where we concentrate all our activities in Kampala, or sometimes we go to Entebbe and maybe Jinja, so we keep in the center, but our activities are far outreaching. Surveyors are not only serving Kampala, we serve the whole nation. We have surveyors all over the country. For example, when you look at the structures, at least for land surveyors, there is supposed to be a person on the land committees and all that who is a surveyor. We have district staff surveyors and all that, but we also want other surveyors to be recognized, to contribute. So going to Gulu is a way of showing that we need to move the profession away from the center, from the capital city, and taking it to the community, taking it to the people. And also Gulu is a strategic location because it's a future, it's a hub, it's an aspiring hub, industrial and commercial hub for northern Uganda. I think it's the biggest and fastest growing city of the new cities. So going there is a message that let's take the conversation of conservation to other parts of the country. Let's start talking about how we can use our skills to protect the environment and to restore what we have destroyed.
Okay, that being said, there's a hosting of a week-long program that is combined with the 10th pre-AGM conference, the Global Surveyors Day celebrations, and of course the 53rd annual general meeting. What are the key highlights that we intend to actually see coming out of these sittings?
Yes, we've decided to have a 3-in-1 podium in order to concentrate our efforts and bring out a stronger message of surveyors. So the pre-AGM conference is a culture we started 10 years ago as surveyors, whereby before we do our annual general meeting, we sit down and have a conversation about what affects our people and society. So this time around, and most of the time, we invite delegates. So it's not only about Ugandan surveyors or Ugandan professionals. We have delegates coming from within the region, from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Malawi, and we had even invited people from the FIG, but maybe they may not be here, but some of them are coming. So it's a community of surveyors discussing these issues that affect society and affect our infrastructure and our future. So that is the pre-AGM. Then we have the Global Surveyors Day, where we want to show what we can do. We also have outreach programs that we are going to go to the schools. We are going to have blood donations. We're also going to have some tours, study tours. We plan to look at Karuma Dam, hydropower, the water, the gauge railway, to see how these things are done and to inspire the people around the communities and the people doing those projects and our members that they are part of this infrastructure. Then for the AGM, those are matters of the future that concern our governance and very pertinent to us for our future, the new laws and all that is coming up. So it's really going to be an impactful week, and we are looking forward to seeing our members coming to Gulu, enjoying, but also learning and impacting, and also inspiring the young generation in Gulu to become future surveyors.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of learning, we want to have an understanding of the theme. It's focusing on biodiversity conservation and restoration. So in terms of surveyors that deal in land, in water and construction, how do they all play a critical role in protecting our biodiversity as a country?
Oh, thank you. I think I had hinted on that at the beginning. But yes, we want to start having this conversation on how we can use our skills to conserve and to restore. As I said, biodiversity is all the living things in an ecosystem working together in balance, okay? Starting with the animals, the plants, but also the microorganisms. And we need to protect them in one way or another. So how do we use our skills? And of course, for land surveyors, that one looks very obvious, the monitors and the mappers to demarcate the sensitive ecosystems, but also we need to know that they are the ones who are going to inform the authorities where there are encroachments. So it's not only about mapping, but it's also about monitoring. So we have advanced tools and even traditional tools. You've heard of drones. Not the vehicle, but the one which flies. You've heard of GPS, but of course there are more other types of GPSs which is not GPS, but all those GIS, Geographical Information Systems. We have all those experts that probably people are not aware that they are very pertinent to this biodiversity conservation, conservation and restoration.
Okay. All right, so just wanting to get a sneak peek into the conference and the discussions that are planned. What are some of the key areas that are expected to be discussed, especially when it comes to the land management, to climate change, as well as sustainable development?
Okay, we have a couple of speakers, keynote speakers and other experts that we've invited, but one of the key speakers is going to be talking about customary land. As you know, in Gulu, the land tenure system is quite different from what we have in the central. So they are going to be talking about the challenges of how to manage biodiversity conservation in that system of customary land tenure systems. And that is going to be a big conversation, and it's one of the highlights. But beyond that, we are going to be discussing capacity building. How can we use our existing technologies and even laws to contribute to the biodiversity conservation. And then we shall have a discussion of, I think the technologies are so many, and a couple of many other things. But the highlight to me is the customary land tenure system and how it fits in the conservation conversation.
All right, Mr. Mukasa, finally, beyond the celebrations, beyond the AGM and the conference, we're looking to lasting impact. You hope that the discussions you've mentioned would actually have on Uganda's surveying profession?
Well, I think we hope that going forward, we should be recognized more as strategic partners in the future of the development of this country, and also to advise or to be closer to the decision makers, and to move away from guesswork to what we call evidence-based decision making, using our skills and technology. And we have a growing population of experts. I can tell you that we have about 50% of our members are graduate students who have just left university, and all these can be absorbed into the various systems in the government and the private sector to contribute to the development of our current and the future generations.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mukasa, I know that you do have a call to action, which I'd like you to relay to the audience.
A call to action. What do you mean exactly?
Well, first of all, you said that they don't include the surveyors in some of those projects that are being implemented across the consideration of your responsibility and your part in the contribution towards national development.
Yes, we need to get away from I don't know whether it's the bedroom, and we go to the sitting room. And one of the symbolism that we can use is the project signboard. I will be happy to see who are the surveyors on a project. I don't want to see only the engineers and the architects. I know that they are partners in crime, but we need to be visible for accountability. That is my call to action. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tom Joseph Mukasa, Vice President of the Institution of Surveyors of Uganda. And we thank you so much for speaking to us. Of course, we've heard that surveying is not only about measuring land boundaries, but it is also about planning sustainable communities, protecting natural resources, and also ensuring responsible land use for future operations. So as a country, we do continue to grow and urbanize. The role of the professionals in land management definitely remain critical and central to development and environmental conservation. And now surveyors, like any other profession, need medical insurance while they go about their duty and responsibilities. And so like other Ugandans, they still also need medical insurance because it feels like it is the best way to actually protect their lives while they are in the line of duty. So that being said, the FCU Bank together with Jubilee Insurance have come together to introduce the DFCU Blue Care, and this is a comprehensive health insurance solution that is designed to give surveyors a peace of mind. And then you do have the DFCU Blue Care also giving both inpatient and outpatient cover. It is also offering maternity care and critical illness cover with also telemedicine access and